I welcome you all to my 24th lecture on digital signal processing, that is UEC 502 for electronics and communication engineering students and electronics and computer engineering students. Today, first we will discuss an example related to the design of digital IR filter by using the method of approximation of derivative. Here the example is convert the analog bandpass filter with system function HAS equal to 1 by s plus 0.1 whole square plus 9 into a digital IR filter by use of the mapping s is equal to 1 by t bracket z minus z inverse. Mark it as equation A. So by substituting the mapping for s in HAS as we discussed in the last lecture, we obtain the system function for the digital filter as hz is equal to 1 by bracket z minus z inverse divided by t plus 0.1 bracket whole square plus 3 square. And if I will solve it further, I can show that this expression as shown in the screen comes into picture, that hz is equal to this expression. It is found that this mapping has introduced two additional poles in the conversion from HAS to HZ. Now here, if you look at this in the analog domain, there are two poles. There are two poles. Now, after conversion, the mapping has introduced two additional poles. So consequently, the digital filter is significantly more complex than the analog filter. This is a major drawback of the mapping given in A. So if I will design digital filter by using this mapping, that is S to Z domain, and now design if digital filter with system function HZ, then it introduces two more poles. So this is the major drawback of the given mapping, that is S is equal to 1 by T bracket Z minus Z inverse. So we will go for another method, IR filter design by impulse invariance. In this technique, the main objective is to design an IR filter having a unit sample response Hn. That is the sampled version of the impulse response of analog filter. That is HAT. HAT is the impulse response of analog filter in time domain. This is sampled at t is equal to n capital T, where capital T is the sampling interval. So this is going to give you HANT, and I can represent in discrete form as HN. So mark it as equation B. When the continuous time signal HAT with spectrum HAJ capital omega, here this capital omega is angular frequency in continuous time domain, is sampled at a rate fs is equal to 1 by t samples per second. The spectrum of the sampled signal is periodic repetition of the scaled spectrum 1 by t h j bracket j capital omega. This we have done in the second lecture, I think, with period omega s is equal to 2 pi by t. So it follows that hpj omega is equal to summation k running from minus infinity to infinity 1 by capital T h a j capital omega minus j 2 pi by t k. Mark it as equation C. So hpj omega clearly indicates that there is a repetition of scale spectrum 1 by t h a bracket j capital omega. So equivalently in discrete domain, h e raised to j small omega. There small omega is the angular frequency in discrete domain. So HP, it can be represented as HP bracket J small omega divided by capital T is equal to summation K running from minus infinity to infinity 1 by T HA bracket J small omega by T minus 2 pi K divided by T, as shown on the screen, equal to summation K running from minus infinity to infinity 1 by capital T H A bracket J bracket omega small omega minus 2 pi K whole divided by T. So mark it as equation D. So we have three expression B, C and D based on sampling. Now to investigate the mapping of points between the Z plane and S plane implied by the sampling process, we make use of equations C and D. Once more, we look at C and D to relate the Z transform of Hn with the Laplace transform of Het. We know that Z transform is the general transform in discrete domain and Laplace transform is the general transform in continuous time domain. So if I will substitute Z is equal to e raised to power S capital T, then I can have the expression that Hz at Z is equal to e raised to power S capital T is equal to summation K running from minus infinity to infinity 1 by capital T H A bracket S minus J2 pi K by capital T. Mark it as equation E. The digital filter with frequency response H e raised to J small omega has the frequency response characteristics of the corresponding analog filter if the sampling interval capital T is selected sufficiently small to completely avoid and minimize the effects of aliasing. As we are doing sampling, so the aliasing will certainly come into picture. So to avoid the aliasing, we need to choose sampling rate high, and that will lead to small interval capital T. Sampling interval capital should be small. Therefore, the impulse invariance method is inappropriate for designing the high pass filter. This is very important. Therefore, the impulse invariance method is inappropriate for designing the high pass filters. Now let us consider the mapping of points from S plane to Z plane implied by the relation Z is equal to e raised to power S T. Mark it as equation G. So we will, if we substitute S is equal to sigma plus J capital omega in continuous time domain and express the complex Z variable Z in polar form as Z is equal to R e raised to power J small omega in discrete time domain, which is equal to e raised to power st is equal to e raised to power sigma t into e raised to power j capital omega t. Now by comparing these two terms, I can show you that r is equal to e raised to power sigma capital T and small omega is equal to capital omega into sampling interval capital T. So this R here, R is equal to e raised to power sigma T and small omega, that is angular frequency in discrete domain, is equal to angular frequency in continuous domain into sampling interval. Mark it as equation I. Now consequently, if sigma is less than 0, then R is lying between the range 0 to 1. And if sigma is greater than 0, then R is greater than 1. And when sigma is equal to 0, then R is equal to 1. Therefore, LHP of S plane is mapped inside the unit circle in Z plane. Look at this. Sigma is less than 0. Implies that R is lying between 0 and 1. So LHP of S plane is going to be mapped inside the unit circle in Z plane. Here, look at this. Sigma is greater than 0 implies that R is greater than 1. So RHP of S plane is mapped outside the unit circle in the Z plane. Now, here if sigma is 0, it leads to R is equal to 1, that is on the unit circle. However, the mapping of the j omega axis into the unit circle is not 1-to-1, as small omega, that is angular frequency in discrete domain, is unique only over the range minus pi to pi. Therefore, the mapping small omega is equal to capital omega into capital T implies that the interval minus pi by t to interval plus pi by t, that is capital omega, that is angular frequency in continuous domain, is lying between minus pi by capital T to plus pi by capital T, maps into the corresponding values of small omega lying between minus pi to plus pi. Unfortunately, look at this. This is the S plane. These frequencies, that is in the range from minus pi by t to pi by t, are going to be mapped inside the unit circle, like as shown here in this range. But we are doing sampling. So what is happening? Unfortunately, the interval 2k minus 1 pi by t, that is the capital omega, that is angular frequency in continuous time domain, if lying between the range 2k minus 1 by pi by t to 2k plus 1 pi by t, is also getting mapped into the interval small omega lying between the range minus pi and pi. Look at this. This range and this range, the frequencies in the analog domain in this range and in this range and in the further ranges, they are going to also going to be mapped inside the unit circle from these. So it is not one to one. It is not one to one. That is, the mapping of j omega axis into the unit circle is not one to one. Here k is an integer. So this means the frequencies lying in this range are going to be mapped inside the circle. Frequency in this range are also going to be mapped inside the circle, and so on, as k is an integer. Thus, the mapping from the analog frequency capital omega to the frequency variable small omega in the digital domain is many to one, which, as shown, it is many to one. It is not one to one, which simply reflects the effects of aliasing due to the sampling process. So if you want to avoid this, you need to choose capital T as small as possible, or sampling frequency as high as possible. So this graph is self-explanatory that this is the J capital omega, that is in the analog domain, this is S plane, and in discrete domain we talk of Z plane. So the mapping from S to Z is not one to one, it is many to one because of sampling process. Let us express the system function of the analog filter in the partial fraction form as. Now our aim is to design the IIR digital filter using the system function of analog filter. So let us express the system function of the analog filter in the partial fraction form as HAS is equal to summation k running from 1 to capital N Ck divided by S minus Pk. Mark it as equation J. So for expressing this HAS in this partial fraction form, we are assuming that the poles of analog filter are distinct. This is an important assumption, because if we will assume like this, then only we can express HAS as summation k running from 1 to N Ck divided by S minus Pk. Now Pk are the poles of the analog filter and Ck are the coefficients of partial fraction expansion. Consequently, HAT is equal to summation k running from 1 to N Ck e raised to power Pkt for t greater than or equal to 0. Mark it as equation K. So what I have done, this is system function of analog filter in S domain, in Laplace domain. Now I am taking its inverse Laplace transform, and then I will get HAT in continuous time domain. HAT is the continuous time domain. I am taking inverse Laplace of this equation J, and I am getting HAT is equal to summation k running from 1 to N Ck e raised to power Pkt, where t is greater than or equal to 0, and then mark it as equation K. If we sample HAT periodically at t is equal to N capital T, here t is equal to N capital T, N is an integer, capital T is sampling interval, then we can express that I am going to sample it HANT, and I can write it as HN, which is equal to summation k running from 1 to N Ck e raised to power Pk N capital T. So mark it as equation L. That is after sampling. But the system function of IR filter is Hz is equal to summation n running from 0 to infinity Hn z raised to power minus n. So I will substitute the value of Hn here. So it will become summation n running from 0 to infinity bracket summation k is equal to 1 to n ck e raised to power pk n t bracket close z raised to power minus n, mark it as equation m. What I have done, I have just substituted this Hn here to calculate Hz and mark it as equation. If you look at on this sheet, that is, first we have considered the system function of analog filter HAS. Then I have expressed it as the partial fraction form, where poles are distinct, CK are coefficients of partial fraction expansion, S indicates it's in the Laplace domain. Now, on the second step, I have taken its inverse Laplace, that is inverse Laplace of J, and I've got HAT, that is impulse function of analog filter in continuous time domain, that is impulse response of analog filter in the continuous time domain. And then what I have done, I have sampled it periodically to generate equation L and coefficients N and Hn, sampled values of HAT, Hn, mark it as equation L. After that, I have generated the system function of IR filter as Hz based on these values of Hn. And by using this formula, I can get Hz as equation M. And you look at this, Hz is also dependent upon Pk, which are the poles of HAS. Now, on the next step, Hz is equal to summation k running from 1 to n, ck bracket summation n running from 0 to infinity, e raised to power pk capital T z inverse raised to power n. The inner sum, look at this inner sum. This inner sum converges because pk is less than 0. So Hz converges and found to be stable. So summation k Hz equals to summation k running from 1 to n, ck bracket 1 over 1 minus e raised to power pk capital T z inverse. That is by GP series formula. Mark it as equation O. Now eventually, Hz is equal to summation k running from 1 to n, ck divided by 1 minus e raised to power pk capital T z inverse. This is system function of digital filter. So Hz is system function of digital filter with poles at Zk is equal to e raised to power pk capital T k1 to n. Now look at this. For calculating poles, I will use denominator. So denominator is in Hz is 1 minus e raised to power pk capital T z inverse, and from this I can get the poles. The poles are at Zk is equal to e raised to power pk capital T for k 1 to n. So there are n different poles. Here the poles are mapped from S plane to the Z plane as Zk is equal to e raised to power pk capital T. However, the zeros in the two domains do not satisfy the same relationship. Now, if we have focused only on the pole mapping, the poles are mapped from S plane to Z plane. It is clearly evident that Zk is equal to e raised to power capital Zk is equal to e raised to power pk capital T. So pk are the poles in S plane which are mapped into Z plane, but we have not considered much about zeros. Therefore, however, the zeros in the two domains do not satisfy the same relationship. Moreover, the above mentioned development of digital filter is based on the assumption that the analog filter exhibits distinct poles. So to avoid aliasing, we need to avoid the aliasing as we discussed here. In this mapping process, it was many to one. The only solution was to keep capital T as small as possible. That is, sampling frequency is increased as much as possible to avoid aliasing. So we need to select a small value of capital T to minimize the effect of aliasing. That is, keep sampling interval as small as possible. Due to the adverse effects of aliasing, the impulse invariance method is appropriate for the design of low pass and band pass filtering only. So as aliasing come into picture due to sampling process, so the impulse invariance method for digital IR filter design is more suitable for low pass filter design and band pass filter design when the resonant frequencies are near omega is equal to 0. So this is not appropriate procedure to design high pass filter right now. Now we will do one example. Convert the analog filter with system function HAS is equal to S plus 0.1 divided by S plus 0.1 the whole square plus 9, mark it as equation P, into digital IR filter by means of impulse invariance method. Now we are having analog filter system function, that is HAS. We can see that the analog filter, first we look at the numerator portion. The analog filter has a 0 at S is equal to minus 0.1 and a pair of poles, that is complex conjugate, at pk is equal to minus 0.1 plus minus 3 iota or 3j. So there is a 0 at S is equal to minus 0.1 and a pair of poles, that is in the complex conjugate form, at pk is equal to minus 0.1 plus minus 3j. So using the partial fraction expansion of HAS, we can express equation P as HAS is equal to 1 by 2 divided by S plus 0.1 minus 3 iota plus 1 by 2 bracket divided by S plus 0.1 plus 3 iota. And in the summation form, it is equal to summation K running from 1 to 2 Ck divided by S minus Pk. Now from this expansion, I can check out what are the different values of Ck, that is what is C1 and what is C2 and what is the value of Pk. Now we have location of Pk, we have knowledge of Ck from this, mark it as equation Q. Now by using the impulse invariance method, now the system function of IR digital filter is Hz is equal to summation K running from 1 to 2 Ck divided by 1 minus e raised to power Pk capital T Z inverse, as we discussed above, that Hz, that is system function of IR digital filter, mark it as equation R, that Hz is equal to summation K running from 1 to 2 Ck divided by 1 minus e raised to power Pk capital T Z raised to power minus 1 is equal to 1 by 2 1 minus e raised to power minus 0.1 capital T e raised to power J3 capital T Z inverse plus 1 by 2 divided by 1 minus e raised to power minus 0.1 capital T e raised to power minus J3 capital T Z inverse. So we have just followed the same procedure as discussed above. That is, we have calculated, we are aware of what is HAS. We have obtained the location of zeros and poles of HAS. And then I have used the formula to design the system function of IR digital filter as Hz in terms of Ck and Pk and capital T. As the poles are complex conjugates, we can combine them to form a single two-pole filter. So the poles are clearly in the complex conjugate form. So we can combine them to form a single two-pole filter. So Hz will be equal to 1 minus bracket e raised to power minus 0.1 capital T cos 3t bracket Z inverse divided by 1 minus bracket 2 e raised to power minus 0.1 capital T cos 3t into Z inverse plus 3 e raised to power minus 0.2 capital T into Z raised to power minus 2. Mark it as equation U. Now in this equation, the value of T, that is value of capital T, must be kept as small as possible as discussed above to avoid aliasing effects as much as possible. For example, the aliasing is significantly more prevalent when capital T is 0.5 than when capital T is equal to 0.1. We can observe a shift of resonant frequency as capital T changes. So I will show you the magnitude response plotted through MATLAB. Now look at this. For this IR filter designed by impulse invariance method, this is the normalized magnitude in dB. It is normalized frequency from 0 to 0.5. Now, when I'm for red colors, for red color, capital T is equal to 0.1. This is the normalized magnitude response when I have kept capital T is equal to 0.1. This is the normalized magnitude of this same filter when I have kept capital T is equal to 0.5. Now you can clearly see, as mentioned, we can observe a shift of resonant frequency as capital T changes. So the effect of aliasing is evident. So this is the magnitude response, normalized magnitude response of the above IR filter designed by impulse invariance method. We can see the effect of capital T on the location of poles and zeros also. This is pole and zero diagram for above discussed HZ at capital T is equal to 0.1. Now these are zeros and it is a pair of complex conjugate poles. Now this is for capital T is equal to 0.1. When capital T is equal to 0.5, then this is the location of zeros and the location of the poles that is in the complex conjugate pair changes because of the change in the value of capital T, that is change from 0.1 to 0.5. So it is quite evident that if I am going to change capital T in the above filter, then the magnitude response is going to change drastically. So this is the HZ, that is the system response, system function of the digital IR filter designed by using impulse invariance method, whose magnitude response is highly dependent on the value of capital T. So as per the analysis, we need to keep capital T as small as possible. So this at T is equal to 0.1, the magnitude response is accurate 1. Magnitude response is accurate 1. So this is how we design digital IR filter by using impulse invariance method when we are given HAS, that is system function of analog filter. And this is one example which I have just discussed. And for more details, you can consult the book of Digital Signal Processing by John G. Prokis for detailed study. These are the reference books. And that's all for today's lecture. Thanks for attending this session on DSP. See you in next lecture.